These last 24 hours have been filled with multiple Mets updates on injured players, three to be exact, that are very key for this team. In a recent David Stearns press conference that happened earlier before the Mets kicked off the series against the Marlins, we're going to break down what David Stearns has said in this press conference and what is going on with these injured Mets that we need back immediately. What is going on, everybody? Welcome on into this new edition of Mets Digest with your host, Michael DeAngelo. As you see on the screen, before I get started, we are at a little under 4,000 subscribers. I got to ask that you guys go down and hit that subscribe button because I want to do a big 4,000 subscriber giveaway for you guys. Thank you guys so much for being loyal through these last two seasons here with me. And I want to give back to you guys as soon as I can. So tell your friends and tell your family that this is their one-stop shop for everything New York Mets baseball. Anything roster news, trade updates, trade rumors, free agency rumors, pickups, injuries, discussions, debates, all of that right here for you. I put it all here in one spot for you guys. Now, let's get started. So, before the Mets beat the Marlins in the first game of the series yesterday, David Stearns held a press conference with the media and explained multiple updates going on with some injured Mets, including the likes of Dedniel Nunez, who was looking good in spring and then was later announced that he will start the year in AAA. So he came into the year healthy, but they wanted to give him some more time to ramp back up from his recovery from surgery. And now it is almost looking like that he could be on his way back up soon. He has given up 3 runs in his last 4 appearances, but apparently, according to David Stearns, he likes what he has seen from him so far. He said the reports have been pretty good. He looks like Noonie. We're going through a pretty structured progression so that when he's called up, he has the ability to function as a full go major league reliever. But the stuff has been good, and he was looking forward to him being back up soon. And what would be better at this point? I mean, this bullpen has been nails so far. They have a sub 1 ERA so far here in the first 8 games, I think it is, whatever it is, and they proved me wrong. You guys have heard me in the past express my feelings and concerns about this bullpen, but they have been amazing so far. I take it they haven't faced top tier competition just yet, and everyone is still healthy, and thankfully for that. But as much as the season goes along, we're gonna need as much help as we possibly can. And Dedniel Nunez would be a big boost for that. But so far, Max Kranick, who has taken his spot in the bullpen, has been phenomenal so far. He's gotten some really big outs, especially during that home opener series against the Blue Jays. Moving on now with some more key players. We got this update just this morning before the Mets are going to take on the Marlins in the second game of the series on Jeff McNeil with his oblique strain and Francisco Alvarez with his hamate, thumb surgery. He says they're both taking batting practice on the field in the afternoon for the first time since their respective injuries. Previously, they have been limited to indoor work. And Jeff McNeil recently, on his birthday, happy birthday, Jeff, by the way, is flying down to Florida to begin this rehab of taking swings and possibly a rehab assignment. And it said, and Anthony DiComo, beat writer for the Mets, listed after that Alvarez will start a rehab assignment tomorrow per Carlos Mendoza, and McNeil will do the same later this week. So the ramp up has begun for Alvarez and McNeil, and it seems like at this point that we need both of them back. The play at second base, especially at the plate, has been very subpar from Luisangel Acuna and Brett Beatty. Brett Beatty, his numbers are way down. He's not even batting above 100, and it's really looking like that Brett Beatty's going to be the one that ends up getting sent down to AAA. Luisangel Acuna is providing a little more production at the plate. He's getting on base at a slightly higher rate, but he's also playing fantastic defense at second base. Brett Beatty's also playing some pretty good defense, but Luis has just shown more so far to this point. And with, a lefty coming back into play, it seems like, another lefty is going to be on his way out, which would be Brett Beatty. And, earlier in this press conference, David Stearns did talk about the struggles of Brett Beatty and Luis Angel Acuna and, compared him to Mark Vientos with how he was up and down when he first came up with the Mets from AAA, that he was going back and forth between AAA and, and the major league team and wasn't always showing, the brightest talents here and there, and, then later got his full opportunity and took advantage of it. He said, and for both of these guys, if one of them does find their way back to the minors, that we can get them fully healthy, there are going to be opportunities for the both of them. We know that they will find their way back to the big leagues. They'll get another shot, but I'd love to see both of them perform at a high level and have them make both of the and perform at a high level before we have to make both of those decisions. So for the meantime, it seems like right now that it is, one of them will inevitably be getting sent down, and it seems like at this point it is going to be Brett Beatty. And to talk about his struggles, look, I'm all for labeling people busts and stuff, especially with how many years Brett Beatty has been going back between AAA and the majors. He's gotten his opportunities, but look, I'm not ready to pull the plug just yet. Injuries are going to happen. Like David just said, opportunities are going to come. Second baseman, infielders can go down in a split second. Jeff McNeil can easily go down again. Francisco Lindor can easily go down with an injury where Acuna is going to have to go play short. And then, Beatty comes back up and is that utility man off the bench. So you need this depth for the meantime. You need guys with major league experience to be able to come up and give quality time and quality at-bats while some guys are going to be hurt, which inevitably will happen. So I'm not ready to, flip them in a trade just yet. I've talked before about a Sandy Alcantara trade. I would love to throw Brett Beatty in that, but it seems like that is not possible up to this point due to the fact that we're not really ready to acquire an ace pitcher, even with our pitching staff not fully healthy. Now, that's another thing that we have not really received, with all these updates for position players from the Mets and relievers. We have not received really any updates on, our starting pitchers of Frankie Montas and Sean Manaea, who are still both injured. So hopefully we get updates coming soon from them on David Stearns' behalf. But even though before David Stearns stepped up to the podium, Carlos Mendoza came up and, was asked about the catcher situation with Francisco Alvarez starting his rehab, and was asked the question about who would be his emergency third string catcher. And his answer was very interesting, as he said that he would pick Tyrone Taylor, who is an outfielder and is starting in center field tonight for the Mets. He chose Tyrone Taylor because he does have prior experience as a catcher in high school. And that seems like our most viable option at this point. Now, does it seem like a situation is going to come to that? Hopefully not. Hayden Sanger has, looked pretty good, to say the least. I mean, he has gotten a couple knocks here and there, and has definitely provided some quality at-bats at the major league level in that 9 spot. I've seen him get on base a few times. So, inevitably he's going to be sent down to AAA once Francisco Alvarez is back. But, I mean, shout out Hayden Sanger, man, for holding it down in the meantime. I mean, he's looked pretty good. He looks very comfortable up in that plate. But that is all I have for you guys here today on Mets Digest. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit a like, comment down below what you guys think of these Mets updates. Who are you most excited to see come back? For me, it's got to be Francisco Alvarez. I have super high expectations for him. It's very disappointing to see him have this kind of rehab and have him start the season like this, because I already know with a hitter like him, he might struggle coming right out the gate, with having this, not so regular comeback to the major leagues or startup for the season. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great day, everyone.